I'm not going to hit you with any flashy images, loud music, or any sort of frenetic pacing in my speech to try to demand your attention. I'm sorry you've experienced enough of that already. What this content is for, what this video is for, and why it came to you is to give you an opportunity, to give yourself permission to sit and be in this moment. To join me as we reflect on this moment and find the message that the day brings to us together. My name is Jeff from Illuminated Fate, and what I do here is I do a random meditation draw as well as a 3-card pull to reflect on the day at its end, or to give ourselves something to think about as the day unfolds. Just depends on when it hits you, when this video comes into your orbit. For the meditation today, we have yin over metal. Now, metal is a yang energy. And when we talk about yin, especially with this meditation oracle, I've found that when yin or yang symbols come up in the meditation, it's at its most extreme in the polarity. So metal is often used for tools that we can use to manipulate the physical world around us. But metal's also used for the reflective surface of mirrors. There's silver, or most likely, the way they make things now, aluminum, that reflects your image back onto you. And that's what this meditation is about today, reflection. What comes to mind for me is to genuinely, and I guess, how do I say it, objectively look at myself and my habits. You should do that too. How often in one day do you just sit and be with yourself without distractions, without music, without something going on in the background? How often do you just sit and allow yourself to exist? We live in a world that constantly demands our attention. Everywhere we go, there are bright colors that are trying to direct our focus onto a sign. There are commercial breaks that are louder than the actual thing that you were watching. Everybody is trying to demand your attention. We live in a very odd place where attention is the economy. How often do we just isolate ourselves from that so we can be with our true selves? In one day, in 1 week, in a month. How many times do we do that in a year? It's kind of scary to think about, because it's the one thing we have, is the ability to just be with ourselves. In some cases, that makes people uncomfortable. I don't know if anybody says this, but that's good that it brings you discomfort, because it tells you that that's what you should be focusing on, not the distractions that are unfolding in front of you. Sometimes it's best to just take a moment, even when you're out where there are a bunch of distractions, and just see everything for what it is, without judgment, without any sort of preconceived notion of what something is. Just allow yourself to just take in the world around you. It's a hard practice. It's a very hard practice. And we all kind of struggle with it. You know, we all want to live these lives. We want to kind of reunite with the divine. And what we end up doing is thinking that we have to work and strive for that. But our connection to the divine is inherent within us. All we have to do is just be with ourselves, and that connection can be drawn. Seems a little pretentious to say that, but it's true. In my experience, it's true. There are also ways that we convince ourselves that we don't have time to just set time aside for ourselves, or to cultivate our ability to just calmly sit. That's a lie we tell ourselves. Think about this. What have you been doing for the last 10 minutes? What were you doing for the 10 minutes before that? I mean, if you're on this app, that's probably your answer. You could have been sitting, just like you and I are now. That's something to reflect on today. Give yourself time. It's okay. It's not selfish. It's necessary. I'm going to go ahead and do a 3-card pull to see what further insights we can get from this. And while I find this card, the 3 cards for the collective, I invite you all to just take a deep breath. Reflect on what you have to do for the day without letting it overwhelm you. As you breathe, just let the thoughts go in and out. You don't have to hang on to them. You can let the waves of your mind gently calm down. There will be plenty of time for the fast-paced, frenetic, modern life. Just allow yourself to have this moment. First card. You know how to do this. You know how to take the moment and just harmonize with it. You've done it before. That's why this video ended up in your feed. You are already on your way to being able to accomplish this. Next card. You know, with that 10 of Cups energy, there is a harmony that we feel with the world when it shows up. A way that we can just be with the world. But with all the minor arcana, it's a fleeting thing. You have to maintain it in order to, well, continue to be there. All right. So we also have the King of Wands. That's an interesting one. Because the King of Wands, there's a clarity there in their thoughts. They want to accomplish something and they're passionate about it. But the King of Wands is a bit distanced and the way that he gets that done. It's the kind of energy where we can direct people, forces to accomplish, to set out the goal and get it done. And we may not even see the actual final result of our decisions, the orders that we're giving out to the world, the ways that we're trying to manifest things. We may not even see the end result of it, but we're there to finish the task. I find it interesting that the eye line is on that 10 of Cups there. Because what that tells me is that the passion that's driving is to try to find the means in order to accomplish that harmony. But as I was saying before, I mean, that starts from within you. It's not something that you're going to find outside of yourself. Are you looking for somebody to tell you this? Are you looking for somebody to give you permission? You can only give yourself permission. Have one almost pop out there. If it's important, it'll come back up. We got 3 more cards on the result. And you know what? I'm just going to roll with it. Okay. So the 3 cards that popped up, we have the Queen of Swords, the Magician, and the King of Pentacles. This one popped up yesterday, the King of Pentacles. So as you sit with yourself in future times, you have a capability. You have a knowing and talents that you can draw upon. As you use these talents to connect to the greater, it's a balance between adapting to the world, finding the opportunities, and actually letting them into your mind and look at them from a distance perspective. But it's also an opportunity to test out new ideas, to really look at them and see how they feel. See how the impact may be on the greater world if you were to just take it and allow yourself to bring it out to the world. It's kind of a strange balance, because on one side we have the thoughts that roll in and out as you're sitting, breathing, being. And also there's a connection to the material world itself and what we do within that world that'll benefit us, bring us stability, grounding, and the abundance. But like I said, it really comes from our connection to the universe itself and how our connection to the universe stirs us to use these tools that we have available. With the Magician, you have the elements, all the elements that are in the minor arcana. The Magician is able to, has an understanding of how to use the elements, the thoughts of the sword, the emotions in the cup, the passions that are driven by the wand. And the effect that they can have on the material world. To allow and generate the abundance that's needed to accomplish the grand work that the magician is trying to achieve. You don't need to look for that connection outside of yourself. It's what is within. Teachers help. Teachers help you find a way to focus on that. But in my experience, once you look through all the books, go through all the motions, perform all the rituals, what you end up finding is that all that was a stepping stone to find the peace within. And it's fleeting. It doesn't stay unless you focus on keeping it there. With that, I'm Jeff. This is Illuminated Fate. Thank you for taking this moment for yourself and joining me in this message. I hope you have a blessed day that's full of peace and abundance. I'll see you again soon.